All right, so are you ready to dive into the world of Thai entertainment?
Always.
Today we're going behind the scenes to see what it takes to bring a Thai drama to life.
Sounds exciting.
We'll be taking a look at the journey of two actresses, Sonya and Lookmhee, as they get ready for their roles in Affair Rak Lin Cole.
Oh, I've heard about that one. It's supposed to be pretty intense.
Definitely. And our source for this deep dive is a behind-the-scenes YouTube video. It's really cool because it gives us these little glimpses into the rehearsals training and even some personal moments.
A kind of fly-on-the-wall perspective. I like it.
Exactly. And it starts off with something pretty unexpected. Did you know that before hitting the recording studio, they had a bonding experience at a zoo with exotic animals?
Wait, a zoo? That's not your typical pre-production activity.
Right. It makes you wonder what the thought process was there.
I mean, it could be a way for them to build rapport before they start working together, you know? Especially in a series that delves into complex relationships like Affair Rak Lin Cole.
That's a good point. Acting is all about trust and connection.
Exactly. So maybe sharing an experience like that, even something as unusual as a zoo visit, helps them create a foundation for their on-screen dynamic.
I can see that.
Yeah.
It's building a shared history outside of the work environment. And you can definitely see that playful energy between them in the video. Sonya, who's a self-proclaimed dog and cat lover, is hilariously apprehensive around some of the more exotic animals.
Really? I can imagine that.
And of course, Lookmhee can't resist teasing her about it. At one point, she even compares Sonya to a chicken.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
I know, right? And Sonya even jokes back saying, "Peck intensely." Lookmhee's like, "Just like you this morning when you didn't wake up."
Their personalities really shine through in those moments.
They do. It's like they're already in sync even before they start rehearsing their lines.
Speaking of lines, did you know that Sonya actually helped create the theme song for the series?
Oh, yeah. As I Am Yours. Right. I love that song.
It's so catchy, and the video shows how proud and excited Sonya is about having her first original song featured in a series.
Yeah, and Lookmhee is clearly impressed, too. She even says she hopes they'll release an English version for international fans.
It's really cool to see that kind of support and admiration between them. And you know, original soundtracks are a huge part of Thai entertainment. They often top the charts and really connect with the viewers.
That makes sense. It's like having a built-in emotional soundtrack for the story.
Exactly, and it definitely adds to the impact of those dramatic moments. So after the zoo and the recording studio, the video shifts gears and shows us how they're both physically preparing for their roles. Lookmhee is all about that intense gym routine.
I saw that. She's really dedicated to fitness.
Oh, yeah, and it's not just about looking good on camera. She emphasizes that she needs the stamina for those long hours on set, you know, those 10 to 12-hour days.
Right, of course. I mean, it makes sense that acting would require a certain level of physical endurance.
Absolutely. And look, Mee's even got a bit of a competitive streak going on. She teases Sonya saying, "Right, why are you acting like such a princess?" when Sonya's struggling to keep up with her at the gym.
Oh, I love that. A little
Aw.
friendly rivalry never hurts.
Exactly. But in the end, they're both pushing each other to be their best. Now, Sonya, on the other hand, is taking a different approach. She's decided to learn piano.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's partly for her role, you know, because her character, Shang Pleng, is a pianist.
Right, of course.
But she also says it helps her focus. She even admits that she struggled at first, but that her confidence has grown. She said something like, "I feel more confident, even if it's just a little. It has definitely increased and can be used in the series."
That's impressive. It really shows her commitment to the role
Yeah,
and to learning a whole new skill.
definitely. And it highlights the diverse talents that actors are sometimes required to have.
That's a good point. It's not just about memorizing lines and hitting your marks.
Exactly. And speaking of getting into character, the next segment takes us to a joint workshop where Sonya and Lookmhee are really diving deep into their roles as Shang Pleng and Wan Wiwa.
I was wondering when we'd get to that. What do they focus on in the workshop?
Well, a lot of it seems to be about exploring their characters' backstories, especially their teenage years.
Makes sense. It's all about building that foundation for their performances.
Right, and they have some unique challenges ahead of them. For starters, their characters are complete opposites. Sonya's Shang Pleng is this talented pianist who's very reserved.
Right. I remember her describing her as quiet and kind of shy.
Exactly, whereas Lookmhee's Wan Wiwa is super outgoing and athletic.
Yeah, she even mentions that Wan Wiwa excels in activities.
Exactly, so they have to figure out how to portray these very different personalities convincingly.
Yeah, that's a big challenge in itself. And then there's the added layer of portraying intimate scenes and complex emotions authentically.
Right, that's something the workshop seems to be specifically addressing.
Yeah, you can tell that it's a bit of a delicate process. Lookmhee even mentions that they often take a long time to get into a scene because they really want to make sure they're capturing the right emotions and motivations.
Which is so important. It's not just about going through the motions, it's about embodying those feelings and making them believable for the audience.
Exactly. It's amazing how much work goes into creating those believable moments on screen.
Right. And the workshop footage really highlights the challenges of portraying intimacy, especially when you're close friends in real life.
That must be tough trying to separate your personal relationship from the character's dynamic.
Exactly. And it requires a lot of trust and communication, not just between the actresses, but also with the director.
Oh, for sure. They need to feel safe and comfortable to explore those sensitive scenes.
Absolutely. And it seems like they're really taking their time to get it right.
Do they actually rehearse the intimate scenes fully in the workshop?
The video doesn't show a full rehearsal, but Lookmhee mentions that they often take a long time to get into those scenes.
Oh, interesting.
Because they want to understand the character's emotions and motivations in that specific moment.
It makes sense. You don't want it to feel forced or unnatural.
Right. And Lookmhee talks about how important physical touch is in conveying intimacy on screen.
I really thought about that.
Yeah, and she also mentions that the way they express emotions through their eyes changes depending on the scene.
Wow. It's amazing how much thought goes into every little detail.
It is, and it really shows their dedication to their craft.
It makes you appreciate the artistry of acting even more.
For sure, it's easy to forget all the work that goes on behind the scenes.
Absolutely. And speaking of behind the scenes, the video also shows them going on a trip together for a costume fitting.
Oh, that's always an exciting part of the process.
Yeah, it's like stepping into the character's world for the first time.
Exactly. And judging from Lookmhee's description of the series, it sounds like a pretty intense world.
She called it a dramatic girl love story and said there's crying in every episode.
Ooh, that definitely sounds dramatic.
I know, right? It makes me even more curious to see how it all comes together.
Me too. And it reminds us that entertainment isn't always about escapism.
Yeah, sometimes it's about exploring those raw human emotions.
Absolutely. And it seems like Sonya and Lookmhee are ready to bring those emotions to life.
They definitely seem up for the challenge, and I'm really impressed with their commitment to understanding the nuances of their characters.
Me too. It's clear they're not just reciting lines, they're really inhabiting these roles.
And they're doing it with a sense of joy and playfulness, too.
Exactly. Even in those challenging moments, you can see their passion shining through.
It's inspiring to witness, and it makes me even more excited to see the final product.
Me too, and I think it speaks to the power of collaboration.
Yeah, they're supporting each other and pushing each other to be their best.
Which is so important in any creative field.
Absolutely. It's a team effort all the way. And before we move on to our final thoughts, I'd love to hear from you, our listener.
Yes. What are your impressions so far? What's resonating with you about Sonya and Lookmhee's journey?
We've seen the dedication, the challenges, the rehearsals, the emotional prep. But what does it all mean for our listeners?
Well, when you step back and look at it, I think this whole journey really highlights how much we all crave good stories.
You're right. No matter what language or culture, everyone loves a compelling narrative.
Exactly. And this deep dive gives us this really cool behind-the-scenes look at how those stories come to life.
And even though the Thai entertainment industry might have its own unique quirks, the core elements of this process are universal.
Definitely. It's all about the passion, the hard work, the collaboration.
Right, and seeing Sonya and Lookmhee go through it all, it kind of demystifies the whole thing.
Yeah, it shows that actors are just regular people who are dedicated to their craft.
And they face challenges just like everyone else.
Exactly. I mean, we see Sonya struggling with the piano and Lookmhee pushing herself at the gym.
And both of them really trying to get to the heart of their characters in the workshop.
Right. It's not always glamorous, but it's that hard work that makes the final performance so captivating.
Absolutely makes you appreciate the end result even more.
It really does. So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of Sonya and Lookmhee as they get ready for a fair Raglan call, I'm left thinking about one thing.
Oh, what's that?
We've been focusing on the actor's perspective, but what about the director?
I see what you mean.
Their vision guides everything, from the way the scenes are shot to the overall tone of the series.
It's like they're the architect of the whole story.
Exactly. So the next time you're watching a movie or a TV show, take a moment to think about the director.
All those creative decisions they make behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's a whole other layer of artistry that we don't always get to see.
It's like a hidden world of filmmaking magic.
Exactly. And it's a beautiful reminder that great stories are the result of collaboration, passion, and a lot of hard work.
Well said. And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into the world of Thai entertainment. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, keep exploring those captivating stories wherever you find them.